Hello, this is Tate with Black Bear Outdoors, blackbearoutdoors.com, and today I want to talk to you about a new, a newer item that's come out on the market. Replica 22 pistols that are resembling their big brother counterparts. So the one I want to talk to you today is the Sig Sauer, and are they a good prepping weapon? You know, that's really the question I want to know, because that's what a lot of you are trying to ask. Are they going to be a weapon that's going to be a good prepping weapon? We've got a couple of them here. These aren't mine, but we've done a little work on them, and we'll talk about that in another video about what we did to do some repairs on these guys. Now, these guys have all been safety checked. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we did safety check them, and we have again. So what basically, they come in a couple different versions. They come in full black, they come in a two-tone like this, or what they call reverse two-tone, which is kind of a neat idea, which is kind of gray on the bottom, black on top. From what I understand, they're all about the same. It's the same price. They run about $350 for the actual gun itself. And magazines, they have a great magazine system on these guys. Really nice, heavy-duty, good plates to actually tap on, things like that, mimicking a lot of the bigger magazines. Really heavy-duty, so if you drop them on the ground, they've got nice, teeth here to make sure they're not snapping them off or bending them like some of the other cheaper magazines that are out there. And they're nice, really sturdy magazines. About $40, $50 mattering where you go. The other thing I really like about these guys were built around the Sig P226. Their single stack version of guns is a 90% size. So about 90% of the actual size of the gun. So very full size type weapon, which I really like. So if you're sitting there practicing at home and you have a Sig, definitely something I'd recommend. Now there's a few other versions out there. If you've got Walthers, they make a Walther version. Smith & Wesson makes up versions, very, very nice. These have been out, I think, about as long as the Walther version. The new M&P versions haven't been out as long, so these guys have been around a little while. A couple things I love about these and a couple things I hate about them. And I'll kind of talk about what I don't like about them first. One, safeties. I hate safeties. Why they put it on the 22 and not any of the other guns, I have no idea. Another thing I really like is you have all of your standard items like you would on your standard Sig, or any really double action weapons, except for the decocker on the Sigs is always up front here instead of on the slide like a lot of the other guns. But still very similar procedures. So if you're shooting any other gun that's a double action, single action type gun, very similar with a decocker, slide release or slide lock, hammer in the back. Really a great way here. Super easy to take apart, and we'll show you that in a second. Adjustable rear sights, and you're going to get about 3 different front sights. The front sights are all to be taken out and clipped back in for different versions of height. So to actually take care of that problem there. And then windage in the back. So really cool gun here. They do come, like I said, with a 10-round magazine. The magazines actually eject really, really nice. They're not sticky like some of the other ones I've tried. Kind of a neat idea. It is a full slide gun, which means basically the whole slide does slide back. The thing that you'll see a lot on these guys, a lot of people complain about the slides, it's having ejection issues and things like that. That can be fixed with some polishing of the feed ramp internally inside. A lot of that takes care of that. Like I said, these are, they tend to be kind of sensitive to ammo. A couple ammos that I've heard really work well with these guns is the Remington Golden Bullet and the CCI Mini Mags. That's what they recommend when you buy the gun. They recommend running CCI Mini Mags. And I can see where the problem happens with the actual polishing the ramp there. It does seem to solve a lot of problems by fixing that ramp and making sure that your ejector stays clean. 22 is usually fairly dirty ammo, so make sure you're leaving your ejectors, make sure those are clean to get those full ejections. And then, hey, if they have a misfire every so often, that's not such a bad thing. I mean, yeah, it's a bad thing. I'd recommend running that good quality CCI Mini Mag ammo when you're using it in your home as a home defense weapon. Would I recommend it for that? Debatable. It is a weapon that, if you're going to use it as a home defense weapon, know how to fix a jam. I mean, if the thing jams up, know how to do your type 1, type 2, and type 3 malfunctions. If you don't know how to do that, this is not the weapon for you. Get yourself a revolver. If you can do that, then sure, it's a great weapon. And with having the feed ramp polished, it definitely solves a lot of the problems that you're going to have in the terms of, rail issues where it's not loading or not extracting properly. And we've also done some other things, and like I said, I'll talk about that in another video. The other thing I really like about this gun is how super simple it is to take this gun apart to clean it. These are polymer guns, which means the bottom is made out of basically a fancy plastic, which make the bottoms really nice and light, and steel barrels. The guns are super simple to take apart. You just take the lever, you're going to twist it so it faces forward, so it normally faces backwards. Then you're going to pull the gun back and pull up. The front of the gun slides out. And another really cool feature I love about this gun, solid barrel. So the barrel is actually bolted in with the 2 screws here. So it's really easy to take it out if you want to do any kind of, like I said, polishing the ramp, things like that. Super, super simple. Very simple guns, but very little wear. These have had about 1,000 rounds a piece through them, and I'm not seeing hardly any wear at all, truthfully. I mean, very, very, very little wear. They look like brand new. There's been more, wear done just by doing the feed ramp problem we were fixing than anything. So super simple, really easy to work on. One thing I do recommend when you're putting them back together is go ahead, there's a couple springs in here, run the standard one that it comes with. I've not heard anybody say that running one spring or the other. If you put your spring back in here, slide it in, it's a little easier to get it in the actual gun and back together. Now what you're going to want to do when you pull it all the way to the back and push down. Once you push down, go ahead and release your slide, and the slide falls forward. Go ahead and rotate it, drop out your magazine, make sure it racks so it's actually opening and closing properly. Definitely, and just go ahead and decock it. So super easy to clean. These are very low maintenance weapons in general, but easy to clean. Are they a great deal for the money? $350. That's a killer deal. If you're sitting there shooting and you think about what you'll save just in ammo, and right now, cheaper than dirt, 9mm is $50 a box. Even the worst case scenario, you're looking $16, $17 a box for mini mags. That's a huge advantage. 100 mini mags for $16 versus $100 for 100 rounds of 9mm. Now, yes, you can find 9mm cheaper right now around the $20, $30 a box range. Worst case scenario, we're still talking about half the price of shooting a 9mm. Are you still getting the same bang for your buck? Yes. You're still able to put it down range. You're still able to do your sight pictures. You're still doing your trigger pulls. And it's a big enough weapon that you're not handling a toy. So all your same momentum and your muscle memory and all that is still happening here. Great weapons for kids and your wives and even you. And like I said, there is guns designed for basically every type of weapon out there. Like I said, if you're shooting a Glock or an M&P, they have the new M&P version by Smith & Wesson. If you're shooting a Sig or maybe a Sig type weapon, double action, single action type weapon, great weapon to be added. So do I believe it's a great prepping weapon? Absolutely. It's a weapon that is getting you ready to shoot your real guns. And right now it's very expensive to shoot guns. So here at Black Bear, we do have 22 ammo. We do have all your basic other ammos, but it's expensive. So why not save yourself some money? And truthfully, I think in shooting several thousand rounds of ammunition, you're going to basically pay for the gun. $350. That's not bad at all. So definitely go out and get one of these guys or get one of the Smith & Wesson guns. And our next video, we're going to talk a little bit about what we think would solve a lot of the problems that people have with these guns as far as ammo issues. So this is Tate from Black Bear Outdoors. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.